Did you hear on mainstream media yesterday about the meeting of the new Board of Trade, including former Aussie PM Tony Abbott? Probably not. They were probably too busy talking about something else or who's been offended by what. But I'm going to bring you all the very latest on a real push towards this vision of global Britain, free outside of the European Union, to negotiate global trade deals in our national interest. If you could please start off, guys, as ever, by making sure you're subscribed and hit that bell so you don't miss future reports. And of course, if you can support my work, we'd really appreciate it if you hit that join button and become a supporter. You'll see some of the people commenting below with the Westminster logo now next to their names, they're supporters. Guys, give us a shout out in the comments so we can see that. But of course, I would appreciate your support if you want to hit that join button. Now, Liz Truss, the Trade Secretary, I know she's been impressing some of you with the various deals and talks that have been going on. I was tweeting yesterday that the new Board of Trade met for the first time. She said as the UK emerges as an independent trading nation, it will campaign for free trade in the UK and around the world, help push new frontiers in areas like digital and green trade, and advise on trade strategy. Now, just following up from that, lots of exciting things going on across the world. Liz Truss saying today that the 5th round of trade talks have started with our great ally, the US, and of course, that deal I would say a lot more likely if Donald Trump gets re-elected. It seems to me that, you know, everyone on the left of US politics, when is the last time they've said anything positive about the UK? Let's see what happens there. And Liz Truss also recently saying that round 2 of trade talks with New Zealand are also underway. And a very interesting Telegraph report as well. Before we get to this Board of Trade meeting, I just want to highlight this. The Telegraph with the story that a trade deal with New Zealand is now in sight. Liz Truss has said as she prepares to step up negotiations in the wake of Jacinda Ardern's landslide election victory. Allies of the International Trade Secretary said Ardern's re-election bid had provided the opportunity to press ahead with talks, with the second round of negotiations due to commence on Monday. A government source telling the Telegraph, "We're excited about the prospect of a deal with the Kiwis. This one has flown slightly under the radar with everything else that is going on, but Liz feels that Jacinda Ardern's landslide win gives us the opportunity to pick up where we left off before the election and strike a really forward-leaning deal in areas like tech and the environment. It's part of our strategy to deepen trading ties with Pacific nations and like-minded countries who share our belief in democracy, free enterprise, and the rule of law." Sounds pretty good to me. Now, Permanent Secretary at the Department of International Trade, Antonia Romeo, saying today under the new refreshed Board of Trade met for the first time under the Secretary of State Liz Truss's leadership. The board will advise HMG and TradeGov UK on trade strategy and support making the case for free trade. Now, this is what it said on the government website. International Trade Secretary Liz Truss will convene the first meeting of the revamped Board of Trade. The board will advise the government and the DIT on its trade strategy, provide intellectual leadership on trade policy, and help Britain make the case for free and fair trade across the world. The board is meeting to agree and discuss the principles underpinning its work, which include a commitment to free enterprise, the rule of law, and high standards trade, and agree its future programme of activities. It will produce a series of reports looking at the vital issues facing international trade in Britain at the moment. These will include the role of trade in levelling up Britain, combating digital and data protectionism, how trade can deliver an industrial revival, reform of the WTO and the global trading system, Commonwealth trade. That'll have a lot of support, I imagine. Let me know what you think about that, guys. How trade can help deliver the government's green objectives. The reports will be published quarterly from 2021 on key trade issues and interests for the UK. And domestically, the board will advise how trade policy can help deliver on the government's commitment to level up the country and build back better from coronavirus. Internationally, it will look at Britain's role in reshaping the rules-based global trading system and how the government could work with like-minded allies to dismantle long-standing barriers to trade. Now, this is what Secretary of State International Trade Secretary Liz Truss said. This is a critical moment for the UK and our trading relationships with the rest of the world. Our re-emergence as an independent trading nation is an enormous opportunity, but it also comes at a time of rising protectionism amidst the challenges posed by coronavirus. She goes on to say that the revamped Board of Trade will play a critical role in helping us navigate and shape the new global trading environment, just as great British reformers helped drive trade and prosperity in the 19th century. We want the new Board of Trade to become the Cobden, Peel and Bright of the 21st century and push new frontiers in areas like digital trade and the green economy, and ultimately help Britain unleash its full potential post-Brexit. Now, front and centre of this with Liz Truss is the former Australian Prime Minister, Tony Abbott. And of course, we saw that ridiculous left-wing smear campaign against Tony Abbott to try and block this. Thankfully, the government held their nerve on this. And isn't it, the government, and considering we've got a Conservative government, it would be nice if we actually saw them hold firm on appointing, shock horror, some Conservatives. And of course, I've talked about this in the media space in terms of the BBC, in terms of Ofcom, but certainly on this, in terms of the Board of Trade, former Australian Prime Minister, great to see him there, Tony Abbott, front and centre with Liz Truss, helping Brexit UK maximise global Brexit trading opportunities. Fantastic stuff. And let's not forget, of course, because you will have, of course, those dreary hardline Remainers still living in the past when they wanted the EU to do this all for us. And they said at first we wouldn't get any deals. Then they say now the deals were all wrong. Oh, and another thing they said was all the deals would take years. Well, the one with Japan that goes beyond the EU deal was secured in a matter of months. And as the Department for International Trade point out, a UK-Japan trade deal is an important step towards the UK joining the Trans-Pacific Partnership, opening up a market of roughly 575 million consumers to UK businesses. Trade equals growth. And on that, the Department for International Trade have linked to a story saying recently the United Kingdom and Japan in principle signed an important trade deal. Of course, for the UK, this comes at an opportune time because of the ongoing issues with the EU. It is widely believed that the real goal for the UK is to join the Trans-Pacific Partnership, the report says. Hence, with Japan appearing to support the UK joining the TPP, it seems that the long-term goal will be met. So there you go. Global allies, global talks, global opportunities. The UK there with Tony Abbott, as I say, the former Aussie PM. Great to see him there with Trade Secretary Liz Truss. And she's highlighted just a few examples when it comes to New Zealand, when it comes to the US, of global trade talks ongoing, the UK able to negotiate global trade deals in the national interest. Let me know if you've actually heard about any of this and the new Board of Trade meeting in the mainstream media. I suspect you might not have, but I thought it was important to highlight this stuff that's now going on because we voted leave, because we've left the EU, because we can now take our destiny in our own hands. Let me know what you think about this, guys, as ever. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Really appreciate that. And if you want to support my work, of course, become a supporter, click join. You'll get a badge next to your name when you comment. Really appreciate your support. And of course, guys, as ever, thank you very much for watching.